Imagine going to sleep one night as snow softly falls outside your home, only to wake up in the morning and find your windows and your doors are sealed, and the village that was outside those windows has vanished. Well, in February of 1972, snow didn't just start to fall in Iran, it started to accumulate faster than people could escape it. Roads and landmarks disappeared. Entire villages were swallowed so completely that later recovery aircraft went up, only to see snow as far as the eye could see. The storm didn't weaken, it didn't move, it didn't even allow people any time to prepare. But once the snow did stop, Iran was left uncovering a disaster that was so extreme, so overwhelming, that it still stands alone in history. This is the interesting true story of the deadliest blizzard ever recorded. When people think Iran, they think heat and deserts and sun-bleached landscapes. Though that is true in some parts, the climate in Iran is much more diverse than that. Much of the country sits on a high plateau surrounded by mountain ranges. The winters can be harsh there, especially in the rural regions where there are villages clinging to hillsides or nestled down in isolated valleys. In the years leading up to 1972, Iran was suffering through something completely different. A long, devastating drought. For 4 years, rain was scarce. Crops failed, rivers shrank, wells dried up. So when the winter clouds came rolling in, they weren't feared. They were welcomed, because snow meant moisture, snow meant relief. They never thought that it meant disaster. In January of 1972, light snow began to fall across central and western Iran. This isn't alarming or out of the ordinary. Villagers just went about their everyday lives. They tended to their livestock, warmed their houses with wood and other fuels, and children played in that snow. But high above the clouds, something rare and threatening started to take shape. A massive surge of Arctic air, far stronger than normal, began pushing south. And at that exact same time, warm, moisture-heavy air started coming in from the Caspian Sea to the north, the Mediterranean Sea from the west, and the Persian Gulf from the south. The cold met the moisture met the mountains, and the result was catastrophic. On February 3rd, the storm finally arrived. Snow began to fall heavily across western Iran. Winds picked up, the temperature dropped sharply, and visibility was next to nothing. The snow just started falling and falling and falling. Day turned to night, night turned to day, and the snow simply wouldn't stop. It was relentless. In some regions, 3 feet of snow fell in a single day. In other regions, the storm stacked snowfall on top of snowfall until the drifts reached heights that people had never seen before. This wasn't a blizzard that was passing through. It settled in. For 6 straight days, from February 3rd to February 9th, snow fell without mercy. Temperatures plummeted to minus 25 degrees Celsius, that's minus 13 Fahrenheit, and wind created snow drifts that swallowed up entire roads, entire neighborhoods. In some places, the snow was so deep it was measured at 8 meters deep. That's 26 feet, tall enough to cover a 2-story house. Villages lost power and almost all communication with the outside world. From the air, Iran's countryside looked less like itself and more like an untouched polar wilderness. Entire villages were buried alive. In the small village of Sheklab, or Sheklabad, 100 people roughly lived normal lives tucked up against the mountain. Days later, when rescuers were able to arrive, they found no survivors. The city was just gone, buried between compact layers of ice and snow. In fact, those rescue workers had to be evacuated because a second storm hit that wiped Sheklab off the map. Sheklab wasn't alone. Officials later estimated that over 200 villages were completely buried or rendered uninhabitable. Homes collapsed under the weight of the snow. Flat roofs, not designed to carry that type of weight, collapsed in. Doors were sealed, windows were sealed, and families were trapped inside their homes, running low on fuel and food and oxygen. Some tried to dig their way out. Many never made it. The roads vanished first, then the railways, then the power lines. Communication between towns ceased entirely, radios went silent, and the telephone poles were snapping underneath the weight of the ice. There were no early warning systems, no modern weather alerts we might get on our phones. There's no way to evacuate these isolated villages, even if they knew the storm was coming. No, for many, the storm was a sentence already written, long before anybody realized it. Iran was blind, frozen, and cut off from itself. Inside the buried homes, survival became a race against time. Families rationed food, they burnt furniture for heat, melted snow for water. Families huddled together, sharing body heat in the dark. Some carved narrow tunnels towards the surface in search of daylight. Others wrote words on paper or cloth, names, prayers, final words, in hopes that someone someday might find them. Outside, livestock froze where it stood. Entire herds were lost beneath the drifts. The silence was absolute. When the storm finally weakened on February 9th, rescue efforts began. Helicopters and planes flew over vast areas in search of rooftops or smoke, movement, anything. Often, they found nothing, just an endless white landscape. In some places, aircraft dropped emergency food supplies, food like dates, bread, packaged goods, scattering them across the snow in hopes that the survivors might be able to reach them. But in many regions, the snow was simply too deep, and help came too late. As the snow began to slowly recede, the truth began to emerge. Villages that once existed were gone. Names disappeared from census records, and entire communities were never rebuilt. Officials went out looking for survivors, but what they found was mostly silence. Bodies were still being discovered weeks later. Others were never found at all, still buried under the landscape where they lived. The countryside was changed so much that maps had to be updated. When officials finally completed their counts, the numbers stunned the world. More than 4,000 people had lost their lives. Not in a war or in an earthquake, but beneath snow. The blizzard of 1972 remains the most deadly blizzard ever recorded in human history. A disaster so overwhelming that it erased entire villages, families, and ways of life. And today, it's rarely remembered. But for 6 days in February of 1972, Iran was covered in a deadly blanket of snow. And no one should ever forget what was lost there. If you'd like to see more interesting true stories like this one, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for a new episode every single week. And what do you think? Do you think Iran could have done something to avoid this disaster? Could any country do something to avoid a disaster of this magnitude? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next interesting true stories.